News 46 is brought to you by Golden Casino Group, where you'll always find great fun, good food, and fantastic entertainment, all at Gold Town, Lakeside, and the Pahrump Nugget. News is also brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law. Call 727-9900 today for your free consultation. If you need a lawyer, you need Nelson. News 46 is also brought to you by Humana, serving the community. Please stop in at 1397 South Loop Road on the corner of Loop and Highway 160.
Tonight on News 46, a local bird owner talks about her passion, and a storage shed is destroyed by fire. News 46 starts now.
You're watching KPVM News 46 with Deanna O'Donnell. News 46, local coverage you can count on.
Numerous exotic birds are now native to the valley. It's Friday, February 2nd. I'm Deanna O'Donnell for News 46. Former Hollywood Madam Heidi Fleiss has made Pahrump her home for several years now. Typical for our rural area, away from the big city ways, Fleiss is left alone for the most part and is able to follow her lifelong passion and calling to care for her dozen of macaws. Fleiss is the go-to expert for many who may need advice about this breed. Her house on the north side of town also is the place where many birds end up who have been abused, sick, or injured to live out their final days. Heidi hopes to redesign her property and continue her sanctuary for these beautiful animals. She says the neighbors in her area also watch out for her parrots and enjoy seeing the four that fly around during the day.
Been in Pahrump 12 years and the birds 12 years, and I am dedicated to changing the way people perceive these birds as just things that should live in cages. That's not the only option, that they live and die in a cage. It's a bird, they should not be in cages. We kept people in cages not too long ago, and it was wrong. And just like women didn't have equal rights, it was wrong. Sometimes injustices are obvious injustices, but there's still a battle to change. For instance, I was arrested here on my property for growing marijuana without a permit. And there's maybe 30 or plus officers here, and they're really freaked out because all the birds were free. But they should have been freaked out that the birds were in cages. It should be natural that the birds are free. And my birds, every morning, a few of them fly off in the subdivision, and luckily the subdivision, they embrace them, appreciate them, and look out for them. And as I worry about them every time they're gone, that someone's going to shoot them or try and do something to them, just let them be birds. Let them just do their thing. That's all.
You have your whole entire house dedicated to your birds, to your passion. And I know that you're hoping to change the way that people think about caging birds. Will they stay in this area? Do they stay in this area?
Well, my birds, they always come home. Some nights they've spent the night in the subdivision, who knows why, but they know this is their home and they're safe here. Some of my birds can fly, but they just will never fly because they've been so domesticated. But look, I want to, this is my short-term goal, is every state should have a place where people, no one wants these birds after 6 months. They're horrible pets. They're loud, they're messy, they're just not a good pet. I mean, if you want something cuddly and fun, get a dog or a cat, or if you want something that talks to you, get a therapist. Don't get a bird. But they're not good pets, so they just get disposed of. And most of the rescues are really parrot prisons. They call it rescue and sanctuary like it's some fancy thing. They're really just prisons.
They keep them in cages, don't they?
Everyone's another version of a cage. And a flighted cage might mean it's 2 feet bigger. You know, these birds might fly miles. I mean, they've been seen as far as Johnny. People take pictures, like rare sight in Johnny, you know, and pictures of the birds. But right now, currently Las Vegas, they're Gilcrease. They call themselves a nature sanctuary or something. As people walk out there, they're traumatized that they see all these birds, these little cages, and they're frantic. It's not a good feeling, but when you see them flying by you and stuff, it makes you feel good. It's a just different sensation. Please respect them, respect their freedom, look out for them, and enjoy them, and let it be a really cool addition to this community.
A homeowner is recovering today after losing their storage shed to a fire last night.
We were dispatched for a report of a structure fire. As we were responding, we were notified that, in fact, the structure was well involved. It was an accessory outbuilding at the rear of the property. As crews arrived, they found that it was, in fact, well involved. There was a lot of immediate exposures, being personal property and vehicles in the immediate area. Crews had to advance additional lengths of hose onto our pre-connects because the location didn't allow for the engine to go onto the property. So from the street, they had to advance additional line in to get back to the seat of the fire. They did that very timely, controlled the fire with no extension.
What should a resident do to make it easier for fire to access certain parts of their property?
It really is part of a fire safety plan, identifying the openings and the gated ways onto the property. But in addition to that, making sure that all the personal property that is stored there allows vehicles to navigate and go back to just about every area. So that if there is a fire event or a medical event, we can get the ambulances and the engines onto the property safely without damaging their property or the apparatus.
This had a lot of property inside the building, and it was also housed a well pump.
Yes, the personal property that was stored was damaged, as well as the pump serving the primary structure on the property. So obviously they're going to be getting that fixed as soon as possible so they can reoccupy the primary structure.
So accidental in nature?
It is. It was determined to be electrical arcing. There was a series of events that occurred to cause an arc, ignited some of the nearby dust accumulation as well as the personal property in the area.
Chief Lewis from Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue talks about yesterday's four-vehicle collision on Highway 160.
Yesterday afternoon, we were dispatched for a report of a four-vehicle accident. That report actually came at the hands of our Medic 5 unit that was in the area and observed the accident. So crews immediately responded from Station 1 to back up the Medic 5 crew. We found that the four-vehicle accident as reported. While there was no entrapment, there were several people who were injured, but all opted not to go to the hospital.
One of them being a toddler?
Yes, one was a toddler, and but that toddler was assessed on the scene, and it was a parental AMA.
So the accident was all rear-end collisions, right?
It was. It was four vehicles in the line traveling south on 160. Apparently, the last vehicle in the line didn't understand or didn't have a view that they had stopped, and then the impact occurred.
And charges have been filed on an Arizona man in connection with the Las Vegas mass shooting. That in your Business First Brief right after this break.